Guys, we need to talk about HIMS' insane over 30% drop in one day after Novo Nordisk, which creates a GLP-1, announced that their partnership is getting called off. Quick refresher from a month ago about why they partnered with Novo Nordisk to begin with.
In February 2025, the FDA declared Ozempic and Wegovy no longer to be in a shortage, which basically means that other manufacturers and pharmacies can't sell a compounded version of it, of a name brand drug anymore, because these pharma companies have obviously patents on these drugs. And so that tanked the stock price from, I think, of a high of like 70 to 80 down to 25 over the next 2 months.
And all the execs like sold right before.
Yeah. The reason why they're in the headlines recently is because they partnered with Novo to offer authentic Wegovy at $4.99 a month. Why would Novo even do this partnership in the first place if like they can actually have a hold on the market? And I think their competitor Lilly sells their semaglutides at like $5.50 a month. So they're already facing like market share pressure from Lilly. So I think they realized the opportunity here and it made sense for them to partner with HIMS and hers.
I also think it's like a distribution thing where like HIMS isn't the only company they're partnering with. There's like a couple others that they also are partnering with, and HIMS has really perfected the distribution game. So they have over 2 million subscribers.
But now the major T is the founder of HIMS comes out and says not only did they just want access to our customers, but they thought that within the partnership they could pressure us to only suggest Wegovy to patients, even though right now they have a bunch of other GLP-1s, including they're still actually selling the compounded GLP-1s that the FDA said can no longer be sold, but they're selling like personalized versions as opposed to like completely generic knockoffs, which is some type of loop around that the FDA says they're going to look into later. Meanwhile, Novo Nordisk themselves is saying that HIMS and hers is selling knockoff versions of Wegovy still. This is like the personalized compounded versions, right, that are putting patients at risk. And they're not completely wrong about this. Like, those drugs aren't FDA approved. But now you see a huge feud between the old guard of like pharmaceutical companies and the new guard of telehealth companies like HIMS and hers. I think this will be a generation defining battle for telehealth. Huge question everyone's asking is, one, are they going to get into a lawsuit? Because there's a good chance Novo Nordisk will sue HIMS if they keep selling these knockoff versions of Wegovy. If they get into a lawsuit, that could be like an existential threat to HIMS and hers business model. And then the other big question people are asking is like, will HIMS and hers be able to find other partnerships or other products as they have to face out compounded GLP-1s?